We will start with the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. The Israeli troops have denied that they ordered the evacuation of the Al-Shifa hospital within an hour. It only responded to requests by the medical center's director, who asked for a safe route out for those who wish to leave. Now, it was earlier reported that such an order has been issued. However, the IDF has now clarified that the IDF acceded to the request of the director of the Al-Shifa hospital to enable additional Gazans who were in the hospital and would like to evacuate to do so via the secure route. And at no point did they mention such an order. Meanwhile, Israel's ex-Prime Minister Ehud Olmert has said that the war will go on and the endgame is to end Hamas. He has claimed that Hamas's underground command center is not in Al-Shifa hospital, but is based in Khan Younis, a city in the southern Gaza Strip. Israel's offensive has extended to the south of Gaza. Israel says Hamas exists in the south as well. At least 26 people have been reportedly killed in a strike on a residential building in the southern Gaza Strip's Khan Younis region. As per a hospital director in the region, the facility had received 26 dead bodies and 23 people with serious injuries after the strike. The IDF has released a video. It shows mortar shells and other weapons that they found inside a kindergarten and an elementary school in northern Gaza. Residents are attempting to flee to southern Gaza in large numbers. On your screens are satellite images that depict the unprecedented scale of the exodus. These images indicate a more dire phase in the war. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes continue to hit civilian infrastructure. Now, this includes refugee camps. Displaced Gazans are in agony and they have nowhere to go.
أرفق عن حالي لا مبالاة في التعريف زي مواطن من البني آدمين اللي هجوا من الجنوب. طلبوا من سكان غزة من احنا من الأهل المواطنين من غزة قالوا تفضلوا على الجنوب. تفضلنا على الجنوب. هلقيت طلب يقول تعالوا الجنوب ارحلوا. وين نروح؟ احنا بدنا نفهم احنا وين رايحين بالضبط. ما حدش فاهم ايش الدنيا. الحكام العرب الدنيا الحياة بطل في حاجة حدا نفهمها بالمرة. ايش فيه؟
5 countries have now called for an international criminal court investigation into the war crimes in the Israel-Hamas war. The countries are South Africa, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Comoros and Djibouti, all ICC members. They have sought an investigation of the situation in the state of Palestine. Hamas, on the other hand, claimed to show its response to Israeli strikes. It released a video showing its military wing targeting and firing arms at a house where Israeli soldiers were holed up. Other visuals show rockets fired from the Gaza Strip towards Israel and the Iron Dome system intercepting them. As the fighting continues, Israel has agreed to allow 2 fuel trucks to enter the Gaza Strip each day. However, this quantity is being described as the bare minimum for around 2.3 million Gazans. Israel says the fuel would be allowed for Gaza's communication system and water and sewage services. Separately, talks around the war continue. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was on a visit to Germany. He met German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and discussions on the war divided the two leaders. Now back in Israel, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant hosted his French counterpart in Tel Aviv on Friday. The two discussed the humanitarian issue of the hostages held by Hamas. The duo also shared operational achievements and developments on the ground. Over in the US, President Joe Biden again pressed for the immediate release of hostages during talks with the Qatari leadership. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Minister Benny Gantz on Friday. Borrell was trying to achieve a balancing act as he expressed solidarity with both sides. Bahrain's Crown Prince has called for a hostage trade between Hamas and Israel in order to achieve a break in hostilities. The prince unequivocally condemned the 7th of October Hamas attack and the Israeli air campaign that followed. He also said that security would not be realized without a two-state solution, in which he described the United States' role as crucial in achieving. Now, we were earlier joined by John Eswasel. He is the head of the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's delegation to Palestine. Here's what he told us about the crisis that the medical community in Gaza is currently stuck in.
The hospitals of the Palestine Red Crescent Society in Gaza are used for humanitarian purposes. They have been working around the clock since the conflict started. Earlier this week, Al-Quds Hospital had to be evacuated and the staff and patients moved south. There, they've working in their hospital at Al-Amal, but again, this is without the necessary supplies and equipment. Hospitals should be left and protected for doctors and nurses to be able to do the job that they need to do. No military operations from any party to the conflict should ever be undertaken in a hospital.